Many of you will have heard about there being a metaphoric glass ceiling for female employees. Our study has actually revealed that there is often an unequal flooring as well. Gender income inequality is defined as a difference in the income rate between male and female employees for completing the same or similar roles and tasks. Our research has shown that on average, women get paid 16% less than men in a single year, despite often fulfilling the same role. To give a simple example, if a marketing executive gets paid $100,000 per year, on average, a woman executive would get paid $16,000 less than her male counterpart, despite the fact that their performance may be identical. The reality of this is that many of us will experience income inequality in some way, and those who won't be personally affected might actually be contributing to the injustice. Our study has revealed that much of our generation, the up and coming millennials, do not realize how severe the issue is and do not recognize how it is likely to affect them in the future.
Our first recommendation we suggest here is directed at overcoming this knowledge barrier. Our research has shown that while many individuals do not understand the current wage gap between men and women, most do not even consider it to be an important issue for modern society. This can become quite dangerous and can cause many people to overlook the wage gap altogether. This injustice means that one day a substantial part of our audience will become affected by income inequality, an issue they didn't know existed or greatly underestimated. This led us to believe that the issue is not openly discussed enough, especially among the younger generations. That is why our first recommendation involves a social awareness initiative. We believe that an educational campaigning presents one of the best tools in overcoming the knowledge deficiency regarding income inequality. This recommendation requires that schools, universities, and employment level education acknowledge how severe income inequality is and how it may affect individuals on a day-to-day basis. Once the issue is openly discussed through these methods, it can come to light within the public domain, and greater social awareness will be the result.
We have first offered a social recommendation because our survey reveals that while the gender income gap is over 16% right now, most individuals thought that it was in the 2 to 5% range, and those who estimated closest to the actual figure were still around 5 to 7% off. In addition, while some respondents indicated that they feared being affected by the issue in the future, most did not, and a large majority did not consider gender income inequality to be an issue for modern society. Furthermore, many respondents said that they had never been affected by the issue, and nor had they known anybody who has been affected. This is to be expected due to the average age of respondents being quite low, as many are fairly young and early in their careers. In contrast, the vast majority of all respondents told us that they did not expect to come across this issue in the future at all. It was through this qualitative data that we were able to identify that there was a significant gap between the severity of this issue on one hand and perceptions of the issue on the other. This justifies the role to be played by implementing social awareness initiatives and bringing the issue more within the public domain.
Our second recommendation involves a more pragmatic business approach. We have found that the individuals or groups best placed to address gender pay gap are business themselves, the employee who set the actual salary rate. There are many methods that are available to ensure that employees engage in a fair environment. One method we consider particularly influential is to establish an internal regulation or oversight body. That body, which may be larger or smaller depending on the business size, should oversee the salary paid between gender and ensure that women are not getting paid less for performing the similar tasks to their male counterparts. A second business method that could also have significant influence is more general. It involves establishing effective channels of communication for employees who think their salaries is being calculated unfair. All complaint and inquiry should be anonymous, and response given by the business must be of real merit.
Based on our data analysis, we conclude that businesses should devise policies to address the issue of gender inequality. By reducing gender income inequality, business organizations can not only reduce their cost but also create more favorable brand image in the minds of consumers. According to Kennedy et al. 2017, there is an inverse relationship in gender income inequality and employee productivity. The research finding indicated that by reducing gender income inequality by 10%, the business organization increased their employee productivity by 3%. And while it is self evident that businesses are best placed to address inequalities within their employment structures, this data shows that engaging in such initiatives are likely to benefit the performance of business in various ways, both economically and socially. This lends support to our second recommendation that businesses and corporations must take responsibility for gender income inequality through initiatives of their own.
Being aware of the issue is the first step. Remember, the day for justice and equality can never be tomorrow. Engage, be aware, necessitate change.